I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I don't know what this series is. That's so good. The only volume that contains a 20-page, vivid, graphic sex scene. Hey, what's up guys? How are you doing? If you're watching this video, there's a good to decent chance that you're probably like me. You love manga. So today I thought I'd take you guys on a tour of my entire manga collection spanning over a dozen series as well as containing some rarer volumes. We'll even be opening up some new entries to my collection, making this video part manga collection tour, part manga haul. But before we dive into any of that, make sure you leave a big ol' like on this video and subscribe to my channel. Manga's not so cheap, especially because I import all of my volumes from Japan, so your support means a lot and it means I can make more videos like this. So without further ado, let's look at some manga. So first things first, I thought I'd start off with one of my personal favorite manga series. I'm certain if you're a viewer of my channel, you'll know what this is. I have almost every volume of Chainsaw Man right here. Chainsaw Man's been a pretty big favorite of mine for a very long time now. I have every volume of the Chainsaw Man manga up until 12. 12 is the last volume I have. I know 13 just recently dropped in Japan earlier in January. So far, all the volumes in English that are released are up until 11. I don't own a single volume of Chainsaw Man in English. And here we have one of the most recent installments in the Chainsaw Man manga, volume 12. Funny enough, this I would consider part of my manga haul because I just got this recently, even though it came out in like October. I ended up giving away 3 volumes of Chainsaw Man Volume 12 on my Twitter account, which you guys should follow me on, links down below. But when I bought these to give them away, I never bought one for myself. So I ended up getting this much later in like December or so, and I didn't even open it until recently. I kind of wish I saved it to open in the video, but I have Volume 12 right here. One thing I did save to open in this video, though, is my new copy of Chainsaw Man Buddy Stories, which is actually a light novel. I bought it from Kinokuniya in New York City. So how about we open up some fresh manga? Get that fresh manga smell. Jesus Christ. We've released it. I don't know why I do this, but I always leave the advertisements on at the bottom of my manga. I just do that because it looks more like official and it kind of looks like I own a bookstore when I have them all lined up in the shelf with their little advertisements on. Yeah, so I have Chainsaw Man Buddy Stories right here, which is a light novel, actually. It's not a manga, so if you open it up, there is actual words. Few pictures here and there. Yeah, I've been looking to get my hands on this for a while. This is actually considered a little bit rare. It's not necessarily like super rare. It's not super difficult to find, but in the United States, it's a little hard to get your hands on because it's like a newer entry into Chainsaw Man. Oh, there we are. We have Denji and Power. Nice. Next up on the chopping block, I have all 8 volumes of Tatsuki Fujimoto's first series, Fire Punch. I'll just show you guys some of the covers here because the artwork is gorgeous on all of these. I know Tatsuki Fujimoto was heavily influenced by Tokyo Ghoul's creator Sui Ishida, which you can definitely see in the volume covers of Fire Punch. Out of all of the Fire Punch volume covers, my favorite is probably going to be Volume 5. I actually think Volume 5 is my favorite volume of Fire Punch in general because I'm pretty sure that has some of the most fucked chapters in it. If you're a Fire Punch reader, you probably know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't read Fire Punch, I highly recommend it. It is nothing like Chainsaw Man at all. It's a little more of a difficult read, but it's really, really good. I highly recommend it. Next up on the chopping block, and to finish out all of my Tatsuki Fujimoto collection, I have some of his one-shots here. I have my favorite Tatsuki Fujimoto one-shot, Look Back. If you're studying Japanese right now, I highly recommend you read Look Back in Japanese. The kanji used in Look Back aren't very difficult, but there's no furigana, so you don't have any pronunciation guides. But it's like a really good skill check to see how much of the kanji has stuck when you're studying. But whether you're reading it in English or Japanese, I highly recommend you check out Look Back. And then I also have the collection of Tatsuki Fujimoto's one-shots 17 to 21 and 22 to 26. These are all stories that he wrote from the ages of 17 to 26. There's some really good stuff in these mangas. Some of it's a little rough because, you know, obviously it's some of his first works when he was a kid. But my personal favorite story out of all of these, I believe, is in 22 to 26. It's called Imoto no Ane, and it's a really funny story about this pair of sisters that are in an art high school. And it's just a silly little story. So I highly recommend you check that out. Moving on from the Tatsuki Fujimoto stuff, I have the first 2 volumes of Dandadan. I highly recommend Dandadan to you if you like wacky shit, dude. I know a lot of people, myself included, say that Chainsaw Man is like a fever dream. If Chainsaw Man is a fever dream, then Dandadan is smoking meth. Such a weird and wacky series, but I personally love the artwork in Dandadan. Here's just a little example, if I can get it to focus a little bit. Just a really charming looking series. I definitely want to get my hands on some newer volumes of Dandadan. I was gonna get some in this particular haul that I'm doing today, but I'm a little behind on my Kinokuniya shopping list. So we're gonna move on from that one to what is probably the current rarest manga in my collection. Rarest because it's kind of hard to get your hands on in the United States, and also because there's only 1 volume of it, and that is the first, and I hope not only, volume of Ruri Dragon. There is only like 6 or 7 chapters of this manga so far, and I fucking love it. Right now, the creator is on a health-related hiatus, so he released 6 chapters of Ruri Dragon, 6 or 7 chapters of Ruri Dragon back in like July and August, and then immediately had to take a break. So I'm certain we're all familiar with the crazy working conditions mangaka put themselves under, but Ruri Dragon is so cute. It's about a girl who is half human, half dragon. The art style is adorable. It is a comfortable slice of life. I highly recommend reading it if that's your thing. This is also part of today's haul. I opened it up as soon as I got it though, because I really wanted to read it. And it was a 10 out of 10 experience. So from there, I'm gonna move on to some of the more popular stuff. So first up in the mega popular manga series that I have here, I have Jujutsu Kaisen 0. This manga I bought like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was back when we were having that huge English manga shortage where no one could find any copies of like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, My Hero Academia. Also, I'm pretty sure the reason that happened was that there was a fire at the Viz printing press or something like that. I know a lot of people thought it was due to COVID complications, but I'm pretty sure it was like a printer fire. But yeah, I saw that everyone was looking for Jujutsu Kaisen 0 and people were selling it for like $100 on eBay and Amazon and shit. It was literally impossible to get your hands on it, so I thought I'm just gonna order it from an official Japanese retailer so I can just get my hands on it before everyone else. And get my hands on it, I did. Next up, I have volumes 1 through 12 of My Hero Academia. I was collecting My Hero Academia for like 2 or 3 years a while back. I haven't bought a volume of My Hero in years now. I still love My Hero Academia. I just read it on the Jump Plus website and the Viz app as well. But yep, it's just, you know, run-of-the-mill My Hero Academia. I actually genuinely love the My Hero Academia volume covers because it kind of resembles, like, it's got classic manga covers, but it also kind of resembles classic like superhero comic book volume covers as well. And I know that's like a big part of what makes My Hero Academia so special, is like it's like a Western superhero comic, but as a manga. So yeah, I'm a pretty big My Hero Academia fan. Here are the last few volumes of My Hero Academia that I own. Good stuff in volume 11 especially. Next up on my list, we have a weird amalgamation of Attack on Titan volumes. I have 26, 27, 28, and 20. These mangas I bought in a really weird time where it was actually incredibly difficult to get any volume of anything in Japanese to import it. This is actually pre-pandemic, if you'd believe it. And I don't know which volume it's in. It's in one of these 4 volumes. I accidentally ripped a page somewhere. It was like a tiny nick, but it was enough for me to be so upset with it that I put it down and never touched it again until like today. I like keeping the structural integrity of my manga intact. I do want to collect the rest of Attack on Titan. kind of fill up my collection. But as you can see, my bookshelf is kind of small and limited on space. You definitely can't see that. That shit is so blurry. But one day I will certainly finish collecting Attack on Titan because I love Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is probably why a lot of you guys are subscribed to my channel in the first place. So technically, I owe this series my life. Now we're going to be venturing back into some lesser known or more cult series. I'm going to consider this part of my manga haul today, even though this is another one I had to open up as soon as I got it. I have the first volume of GACHIAKUTA. GACHIAKUTA is a new series by Kei Udana. I did a video on it like a year ago on my channel when chapter 1 dropped, which it's crazy to think that this series has been out for over a year now. But GACHIAKUTA fucking rocks, dude. If you haven't checked it out yet, please check it out. I'm not sure when there's going to be any volumes of this in English, but I know that there are people working to translate it online right now. I always recommend supporting the official releases when they drop. The only problem is that it seems like whatever publisher is working on GACHIAKUTA, I think it's Young Jump, they're kind of dragging their feet on getting it to the West. But this shit's so hype. I highly recommend it. Funny enough, this is another one of those series where I gave it away on my Twitter account. I bought like 3 or 4 volumes to give to people. I didn't have one for myself. But now I finally own it for myself. There are like 4 or 5 volumes now, so I'm really slacking on my gachi game. So I'll definitely be getting more of this because I fucking love this series, dude. It rocks. Now, the next series I have right here, it doesn't have an English translation. There was an anime for it. There's no dub for it. Not that anyone here watches dubs anyway, right? But this is one of my favorite series in the world that no one knows about or cares about. These are my 2 volumes of Asobi Asobase. Do not let this manga fool you at first glance. It looks very comfy, kawaii, sweet, slice of life. You know, maybe for all ages, family-friendly stuff. Asobi Asobase is actually a surrealist comedy. It is absolutely hilarious. It has some of the best art I've ever seen in any manga. And the comedic use of, like, changing art styles is super hard-hitting in this manga. It's so funny. If you have a Crunchyroll account or, you know, whatever, 123cartoons.com or whatever, please do yourself a favor. Watch the Asobi Asobase anime. It is still, to this day, one of the funniest animes I've ever watched. And if you've watched the Asobi Asobase anime before, or maybe you've read the manga, I need to know where all of my Giga Chad big brain brethren are. So please let me know in the comments below if you are a fan of this series. Now it's time for the big boy collection. So what I have with me here right now, it's too fucking big to hold up to the camera. I have every single volume of Tokyo Ghoul Rei. And Tokyo Ghoul Rei is what actually started my manga collection, at least my Japanese manga collection. I collected every volume of Tokyo Ghoul in English, but ever since I randomly found a few copies of Tokyo Ghoul Rei in Japanese, just randomly in some English bookstore in America, it started my Japanese manga collection. I haven't collected a single volume of manga in English since 2017. So how about we look at where my collection started? These are the first few volumes of Tokyo Ghoul Rei. Actually, funny enough, this is probably the newest volume of my Tokyo Ghoul Rei collection. Volume 1, if you'd believe it. I used to have an older version of the first volume of Tokyo Ghoul Rei, but one of my dumbass friends spilled rum and coke on it at a party. So that's why I don't have friends over anymore. Here we are, volume 2. That is one of my favorite manga covers of all time. I just love this artwork of Toka on the front of it. And when I said I loved volume 2's art so much, I actually lied. Volume 5 is my favorite, where it has Kaneki and Eto on the front. I'm not sure if any of you guys are Tokyo Ghoul fans. Eto is one of my favorite characters from anything ever. I would go as far as to say, like, she is my original best girl. Obviously, manga Eto. We don't talk about the anime here. Here we have 6, 7, 8, 9, sick ass. I almost said album art. Cover art for volume 9, 10, 11. I think Sui Ishida, like, Sui Ishida started my hyperfixation with manga and Tokyo Ghoul in specific. Dude was just like the master of cover art for mangas. Here we have, actually, a fun fact. Volume 12 is the most expensive volume of Tokyo Ghoul to buy? Does anyone know why that is? I'll give you 5 seconds to guess. Why would volume 12 of Tokyo Ghoul be the most expensive? If you couldn't guess, volume 12 of Tokyo Ghoul is the most expensive because it's the only volume that contains a 20-page vivid graphic sex scene between two characters. Yes, at the time I bought volume 12 of Tokyo Ghoul Rei, it was a solid $10 more than any other volume I ever imported. Here we have volume 13 with this awesome Juzo Suzuya artwork on it. Fun fact, at the time that volume 13 came out, it was absolutely flogged by fans because this volume contains one of the most shocking and disturbing and depressing chapters of all time in it. I actually personally love this volume, and I love the scene to which I am referring, but I understand that it's not for everyone. Speaking of not for everyone, this fucking TV anime announcement, yeah, that shouldn't be for anyone. We have volume 14 here. Got a sick-ass artwork of Hide on it. Volume 15, awesome artwork of Rize. And then we have the thickest volume of any manga that I own, volume 16. This is the volume where Sui Ishida seemingly got tired of writing Tokyo Ghoul Rei about like halfway through and decided he wanted to wrap it up as quick as possible, leaving not enough material to make a full volume 17, but too little material to just make a short volume 16. So thus we have the big old thick ass volume 16 of Tokyo Ghoul Rei. But funny enough, I don't just have one copy of volume 16 of Tokyo Ghoul Rei. I actually have two. This one's still in the wrapping. This one has been in the wrapping since, I think, 2018. Story behind that is my parents went to Japan without me, which is incredibly depressing. But they went on a vacation to Japan, and they knew I loved Tokyo Ghoul at the time. So they wanted to surprise me by buying me a volume of Tokyo Ghoul. Unfortunately, I already had every volume of Tokyo Ghoul, but I've kept it ever since because I think it's just funny that I own two of them, and I'm just going to leave this one in the wrapping. Actually, quick fun fact, my original copies of the Tokyo Ghoul Rei manga in Japanese is what started my journey of learning Japanese in the first place, because I wanted to eventually be able to read these mangas in their original language and their original volumes, how they're supposed to be read. And after 6 years of intense Japanese study, I can finally say I still can't read Tokyo Ghoul because that shit is way too hard. There is too much difficult kanji. Sui Ishida, I think, was a Japanese kanji major in college. I don't know what his fucking major was. It was something like that. It was something crazy. So the kanji in Tokyo Ghoul is super difficult to read. And now for the last piece of my Tokyo Ghoul manga collection, I have Tokyo Ghoul Zaki 1. I know there are 2 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul Zaki, but I only own the first one. And this is just the Sui Ishida Tokyo Ghoul art collection from part 1. As I said before, I adore Sui Ishida's art style. So having a full color showcase of all of his artwork, I think, is amazing. I really need to get on buying volume 2 of Tokyo Ghoul Zaki, just because this man is goated. I need to buy some volumes of Chojin X. If I'm really trying to be a Sui Ishida fanboy, I gotta get some Chojin X up in this bitch. All right, putting this back is gonna suck. Moving on from Tokyo Ghoul, I have a fun little collection here of Gokushufudo, Way of the Household Husband. I have volume 1 here, volume 2, and to add to the collection, I have volume 3, still sealed in its original plastic wrapper. So let's open it up. It's already opened. Okay, I swear I didn't open it, but let's just take this bad boy out, free him from his plastic prison. Got that fresh manga smell. That shit's so good. We have the first 4 volumes of Way of the Household Husband. And here we are. One of the silliest but funniest manga series I have ever read in my entire life. This is another one of those series that if you try to read it in Japanese, you will find it to be fucking impossible. There's a lot of really difficult kanji, a lot of difficult vocabulary that you wouldn't really know if you weren't familiar with Yakuza type So still, I think it's really funny. There's a lot of translations you can find. There's an English version of the manga that you can read. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. If you buy it in Japanese, though, one of the perks of owning it is that it's got like a nice like textured cover, and honestly, like it feels like different. It hits different than other manga. I swear to God, it feels like the paper is more expensive. You know, this is some expensive paper. Talking about manga volumes like I'm grading Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The next 2 volumes of manga I have right here are still perfectly sealed in their casings. I have volumes 1 and 2 of the Rent-a-Girlfriend spin-off, Rent a Very Shy Girlfriend, or also known as Kanojo Hitomi Shirimasu. I feel like we might as well free these from their plastic prison because they're so tightly wrapped. This shit is tightly wrapped. It's not like this was picked up in the adult section. And it's not like anything in this manga is honestly all that incriminating. It's just a spin-off series about the most precious, innocent character in a trashy rom-com series. Even though I dropped Rent-a-Girlfriend like half a year ago, I still love Sumi. She's still one of my favorite characters in like anything ever. So I'm happy I own these at the very least. I'm pretty sure there's like 2 more volumes of this out there as well, so I definitely need to pick those up, or else I'm a fake Sumi fan. Ugh, it's always so nerve-wracking using a knife to open anything that's tightly plastic wrapped. Because like the worst thing is to ruin the integrity of the physical integrity of a collectible. Because you guys already know that I put down that copy of Attack on Titan and never picked it up again after I ripped a page. It was just a tiny rip in the corner too. And we are met with that new manga smell. Oh my god, this shit's so crisp. You ever feel like a fresh out of the packet, like crisp manga? Look at these corners, these edges right here. I realize every time I put it close to the fucking camera, it's impossible to see. Oh, look at how crisp that is. That's nice, right? Hell yeah. Just look at front cover. That adorable artwork. Oh, God, I love Sumi. Moving on from there, I have volume 7 of My Dress Up Darling in Japanese. This one I only have volume 7 for because there is a collectible keychain that came with volume 7 if you bought the deluxe edition, which I did. It comes with a different, I keep wanting to say album cover, but it comes with different cover art where she's wearing a gray parka rather than a brown one. So, this is actually a rare collectible and one of the rarer pieces of my collection. I do want to get more of My Dress Up Darling. It's actually, funny enough, My Dress Up Darling was a series that I would consider myself an early adopter of. I was reading it maybe half a year or a year before the anime came out. I remember when I started reading it, it was right when the anime adaptation got announced. So I guess I could say I'm a fucking... My Dress Up Darling hipster, I guess. And last up on my list of manga that I own, I have something called Last Waltz. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know what this series is. It was given to me for free at an anime convention. When I looked through it, it seems like it is a yuri ecchi series. There's a lot of titties and whatnot in this. It's by a publisher called Yuri Hime. I have never heard of them before. I did give it a good shot. The kanji was a little difficult for me to read, so maybe I'll give it another shot at some point soon, because I am getting pretty fucking Nihongo Jozu right now, so maybe I'll give it a shot later on. But as for now, I can't really vouch for the quality of the story. I can only vouch for the quality of the pictures. If you care about the artwork, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But if you care more about the story, and can read Japanese, I can't tell you anything on that. So that is my entire manga collection so far, at least my collection in Japanese. What did you guys think? Let me know which series of all of those ones that we just saw was your favorite down in the comments below. Especially if you're an Asobi Asobase fan, that shit slaps. But if you like this kind of content, there's definitely going to be a lot more of it on my channel. I want to do more frequent manga hauls. Maybe I'll do a monthly manga haul at the end of every month. But make sure you like this... But make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!